Roseanne Dennis says Terry Pierce misrepresented the sale of his home by camouflaging a cracked bathtub. Terry says Roseanne is holding his belongings hostage.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I was told to do that by my attorney.
Just a minute. I don't care whether you were told to do it, but that was, listen to me, Miss Dennis.
Yes.
That's the drill. Don't give him his property
Until I was able to serve him.
until you get satisfaction with regard to the bathtub. Now, what happened to his property?
Ma'am, the thing of it is that I was told that basically he would not give his address to my realtor or his realtor or anybody else so we could find him so I could serve him court papers. I had to hire a private investigator to try and find out his address because he wouldn't disclose it to anybody. I wanted to do this the civil way. I didn't want him on my property. I was scared of Mr. Pierce. I had to buy a gun. My fiance, HRS came to my house, and my fiance committed suicide over this. And I have a baby that's 8 months old now that will never see his father.
Your fiancé did not commit suicide
Ma'am,
over this, Miss
we
Dennis.
were harassed by
Miss
HRS.
Miss Dennis.
We were harassed by HRS
Miss
on the
Dennis.
same day that the sheriff came to look for his property, and he was not
That's
there.
not-
HRS came.
Miss Dennis.
That was a
But
coincidence.
shh, Miss Dennis. If you've deluded yourself into believing that your fiancé committed suicide over this cracked tub and everything that came from it, you are doing nothing more than deluding yourself.
It caused a lot
You
of
are
problems between
it
us.
may have caused a lot of problems between you, problems that I'm certain existed before. Certainly the same bathtub happened to you. You did not commit suicide as a result of this cracked bathtub, and
Ma'am,
neither
I
did
didn't
your
think that I
fiancé.
would
And
lose
neither
my
did your
children. My
fiancé.
fiance did. He was scared that he was going to lose our baby. He didn't know anything about the protective services. This was his first child.
Listen to me carefully. Nobody took your child from you, correct?
No,
Nobody took the child out of the house, Miss Dennis.
My fiance did not understand that, Your Honor. He thought protective services would continuously bug us. I got an HRS report here that says that the allegations were false. The call was made on the same day that the police
From
came
me.
to look from his stuff.
HRS said Terry Pierce.
And
Mr.
basically,
Pierce,
Sorry, ma'am.
don't interrupt.
ma'am, if I could just submit that it was the same day that the sheriff came to look for his belongings and they were not on the property, that's the same day HRS was called.
That's not proof that he called, madam.
Your Honor.
I don't know who else was.
I
We
don't know
just
who else
moved
called
there.
either, but what I'm telling
I
you is
just
you
moved
bought a
there.
house.
I didn't
Ty-
know anybody else in that county.
This is a stressful time for you. You have a new baby. Baby's father is no longer there to assist you. You made a mistake when you purchased this house by not reading this inspection very carefully. Any person purchasing a house, bells would have gone off and said, listen, if there's rot, there has to be a reason. I want you to go back there. I'm not satisfied with the report. I want you to go back there and look at it. See what's causing that water to get into the wood underneath the bathtub. You didn't do that. The house is closed. Miss Dennis, speak not. But you had no right. You have no right to withhold his property. I mean, if a lawyer gave you that advice, don't give him his property until you get the bathtub resolved. That's the
only
wrong
until I
thing
could
to do.
serve him.
What kind of damage are you claiming, Mr. Pierce?
Well, Your Honor, the contents that I had in the shed, which they allegedly said they never had, was damaged. It was
What?
destroyed. Well, I had a computer. I have a list. The stuff was damaged and destroyed, and loss of wages from the tools that they withheld. They stole all my documentation from my income tax returns for the last 7 years, my investment portfolio papers. They took photographs of my wife, my children, and which we never had gotten.
You never got them back?
I never got them back, ma'am. No, I didn't.
What did the plaintiff do with your property?
They lied about their identities to the sheriffs. Okay, that's why the sheriffs had to keep coming back to the house. They were getting no cooperation. They lied
Just a
about who
second.
they were.
I asked you a question. I said, what did they do? The shed came and got taken away. When the shed came and was repossessed, was your stuff in the shed?
No, it wasn't, because I was there that day. They came and picked up the stuff.
What happened to the
It wound up in
property?
a used storage facility down by her ex-father-in-law down in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
And
So
I
they
also,
moved the property out of the shed
yes,
into another facility.
yes, and they claim they never had it.
From what place did you take his property and where did you put it?
I removed the property out of the shed and I put it in used storage. The woman who works there, Joyce, watched as his property was being removed, and basically she noticed that nothing had been
Don't tell me
damaged.
what you noticed, Miss Dennis. You made a big mistake. You have absolutely no legal justification or right to move his property from where it was to you storing. And if anything happened to that property from the time he put it in there until the time he finally retrieved whatever he retrieved from you stored, you are responsible. There is no legal right that you had to move it. Let me see what you claim, Mr. Pierce, was destroyed and or lost.
Here's a list from the sheriff's department, and here's some paycheck stubs as of last week.
I'm not interested in paycheck stubs,
Well,
sir.
that's part of the lawsuit.
I'm not entertaining the part of the lawsuit that indicates that
Okay.
they withheld tools and therefore you couldn't work. That's iffy at best.